we're gonna get started. All right, it's about 7:30. Did everybody get something to eat? All right, if you are hungry, I don't need to wear. Yeah, I'm not gonna wear this. Take this off. Okay, hi everybody. My name is JD. You are at Plus One Business Dinner. This event, very quickly, we do once a month, and actually, you can keep it open. Lily, you can keep it open. So we do this event once a month. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the event. We're going to have some discussion. We're going to do some mock pitches. We're going to have some audience participation, and then we're going to have a great fireside tonight. All right, so very excited. Who was at the last Plus One event here in this room? Raise your hand if you were there. Okay. Who's been to a Plus One before that, before the last event? Oh, nice. Okay, fantastic. So this is, at Plus One, by the way, Plus One Business Center. For this time, I had to go back and think, how many Plus Ones have we had? Because last time I think I said like 10, because I just made it up. But I actually went back this time, and tonight is our 9th Plus One. So very, very happy about that. Thank you for everyone who keeps coming out. What is Plus One Business Dinner? Oh, before we get there, tonight's gonna be a little bit more chill than the last time where we had so many people. Tonight is gonna be more intimate. I actually like these a lot more because you get to learn more, and that's really one big part of this. But before we start, I do like to throw a couple of shout outs or thank yous for tonight. The first one is to Taiwan Tech Arena, right, for the fantastic space. And then the second one is, of course, SparkLabs. So SparkLabs, Edgar has always been a great supporter of Plus One Business Dinner. And Edgar, do you want to say a couple of things? Let's give it up for SparkLabs. And SparkLabs provided the food and the space tonight. So thank you very much, Edgar.
Thank you so much. So SparkLabs Taiwan is a VC accelerator that we want to help early stage startup founders to go international. So wherever that you are come from Taiwan, or you want to soften your business to Taiwan, welcome you to contact us. So we run a 3-month-long accelerator program. By end of the program, we host a demo day. Right now, it's the largest demo day in Taiwan. We have more than 1,000 people join our demo day on site. So definitely along the way, not just like helping the startup to grow. One of the most important things is that how we can help the company to expand their business. So that's the reason why we partner up with the PMf strategy. How we can curate more founders, especially in Taiwan. There's a lot of founders on technical background. Are thinking of those kind of like go-to-market experiences. So I think that's quite important for not just Taiwanese founders, but a lot of founders who don't know how to do the B2B deals. How do you engage with partners? That's the reason why we partnered up. Want to help more about this ecosystem, because the last time we heard about, people say this is so valuable, and this is like we can learn a lot from the sharing. So we still insist to do that, for free. But we actually give out a lot of time and effort. Just want to curate and also put more energy to this ecosystem. So try to build this ecosystem together. So thanks again for joining us, and hope you enjoy the night.
Awesome. Yeah, and really so much appreciation for SparkLabs. This is a great venue, and thank you so much. So what is PMF, or I'm sorry, what is Plus One Business Center? I do this every time, it takes about 1 minute. But this is our mission statement. Okay, so when I got back, I was born in Taiwan, raised in the US, and I got back about 3-4 years ago. And during that time, I realized a couple of things about current day Taiwan. Number one, Taiwan creates world-class technology, hardware, products, and technology. I think this is what we're very proud of. Number two, Taiwan seeks world-class sales and marketing leadership. I think this is where we can improve, right? Where Taiwan can improve. So this event is in English. Most people in this room can likely speak both English and Mandarin. So tonight, if you have questions, you can raise your hand, speak in English or in Mandarin. What I wanted to do is to Sammy. Hey, so what I wanted to do was to build a community around two things. One, B2B sales and business development. If you're in B2B sales and business development, here's your home, right? You can come and meet people, network, share. And number two, global business development, global sales. So if you go global, this is also your home. So this is the intersection of what I do and what my company does. And that's what I'm trying to build, or not trying to build, but that's what we do here, okay? So welcome. Hopefully you're in one of those two, if not both. If you are, you're in the right room. Okay, so before we get started, I would like to just give a quick 30-second, well, I'm not gonna do it, but we do put in a lot of time for this. This is a free event with food and drink and everything. One reason is because of all the, we want Taiwan to succeed and we want everybody in this room to succeed. Number two, I have a company. It's called PMf Strategy. We do remote and outsourced business development and B2B sales. Our staff, okay, PMf staff, raise your hand. They're all over there. We helped set up this event. Tonight, I want to try and give Lily about 30 seconds to tell everybody really quickly about our company, PMf Strategy. Lily. Everybody give Lily a round of
Hello， 大家好，欢迎来到 Plus One Business Dinner。我们观察到啊，台湾的新创公司在把产品去推到海外市场的时候呢，常常面临到3个 struggle 的困难点。第一个可能是英文能力没有那么好，那第二个呢是可能会不知道要怎么卖，那第3个呢是会找不到专业的国外业务人员。所以我们 PMf 提供的服务呢，就是帮新创公司去解决 BD 还有 Sales 的困扰。我们帮你去开拓海外的市场，然后去帮你建立完整的销售流程，包含到成交、下单都是。然后呢，我们也会把客户最第一手的 feedback 带回来给你，让新创公司可以把时间专注在提升产品价值。那我们呢，就帮你找到 product market fit。所以呢，如果你今天刚好也有这样的需求，欢迎结束之后来跟我交换名片哦。那我们把时间交给 JD。JD。
I asked Lily to do that in Mandarin because I'm not sure why. And then now, listening to it, I realized that I literally just said this event is going to be in English, and we're going to be talking there, and she gets up and she does it in Mandarin. Lily, you did a great job. Everybody give Lily a round of applause. Okay. If you want to know what my company does or what our company does, in English, you're going to have to find her. So she also speaks English. She probably will do it in English next time. You can find her after the event and learn more. Okay, let's get to it. Before we get started, okay, we had this up last time. It actually helped. So this event is to really talk and think about B2B skills and what's valuable. We put up this last time. We also put up in the LinkedIn group, what do you want to see for the next event? And everybody chose tonight's event, or everybody voted, and tonight was the most, the one that got the most votes. So then I'm gonna do it again, and if you like the event tonight, then please, you can use your QR code and vote for one of these other 3, okay? And the one that gets the most votes, we'll likely do for the next event. We'll do it for the next month, okay? So at the end of the event, I'm gonna put this up again, and then you can just put up your phone and then vote. All right. Tonight is all about discovery and sales and BANT. Who is in B2B sales? Raise your, okay. And then if you're in B2B sales, okay, who has heard of the term BANT? B-A-N-T. BANT, yes? Tara, right? Okay, awesome. All right, can anybody tell me what BANT stands for? Do you know? Yes?
Budget, authority, needs, and timeline.
Okay, budget, authority, need, timeline. Great. We're going to talk about that tonight. Tonight is all going to be around BANT. Okay. Quickly, BANT is a way for you as a salesperson or your sales team to not waste time. That's kind of like the easiest way that I think about it, right? What's the most valuable thing for most people? It's time, okay? Salespeople, it's the same, time. BANT is a really easy way to qualify your leads and your prospects. It makes no sense to spend so much money and effort to go and get the right prospect or get all these prospects, and then you waste time on the wrong prospects. Makes no sense. What you want to do is put your effort and time into the right prospects, right? That'll increase your funnel, close rates, all of that. This is a very proven way. I think BANT was invented in the 1950s. This is a very traditional way of doing B2B sales. Tonight we're going to talk about BANT. We're going to quickly, at a 50,000 foot level, talk about discovery. What does this all mean? We're going to talk about the methodology of BANT. We're going to show you what a bad discovery call looks like. We're going to show you what a good discovery call looks like. We're going to discuss that. And then I'm going to ask people in the audience to come up and practice. Okay, how many of these you go to Taiwan, you just sit there and listen, and then you don't get to practice? And, tonight, I hope, for people in the audience, it's a smaller crowd, right? Let's get intimate. I really, really hope that people can take away something out of tonight. And one of the best ways is to actually do it, okay? So over the next 50 minutes, we're gonna cover all of these things. Cool, everybody good with that? All right. Okay, yes, yeah, I like it, in the back. And this feels like stand-up comedy. So first, what is discovery? Does anybody want to kind of quickly tell me what you think discovery means? So you're a B2B salesperson, you're trying, you have a new prospect, and then I say like, go do some discovery. Well, what does that mean? Anybody, raise your hand. Yes, you, look, ma'am, what's your name? Yes. Kara. Do you have a answer for what is discovery?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've researched potential clients.
Okay. Yes. Right.
Just to
Research.
understand if it's the big fit type of business that I'm offering.
Yes, if they fit the type of business you're offering. Okay. Great. Thank you, Karen. Anybody else? Anybody else discovery? You want to go again? Yeah.
During the discovery, maybe you will find a prospect if it fit the need that maybe you find a fit to your product that you can provide a solution to the customer. So you can have a further talk with them.
Yep.
Move on to the next step.
That's right. So Taro, right? Taro is saying that in discovery, right, you're trying to find that fit so you can move on to the next step. Okay? That's great. I would put discovery as something like this. Discovery is the first conversation with a prospect after they show initial interest in your product. Okay, so at a very high level, discovery happens when you talk to somebody and they show some interest in your product or your service. If you use this term in the, I'll just say the US where I was trained, discovery, they say discovery call, discovery meeting, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I would broaden it out. I would level up a little bit. I do discovery all the time. I don't need a call. I don't need a meeting. Like if I just talk to you and I hear some keywords, suddenly my mind will just go into like discovery. Okay? So for me, like this is the definition. This is actually from HubSpot, their website. Discovery is the first conversation with a prospect after they show initial interest in your product. But what I'm saying is discovery is what happens as soon as you, a salesperson, right? As soon as you feel like the other person is like interested in something that you sell, then you should be discovering. And I'll show you tonight what kind of questions you should be asking. and what you're trying to find out, okay? But discovery is what happens when somebody shows some interest, all right? We're gonna move fast tonight. Not a lot of slides, we're gonna move pretty fast. So, how do you find, so back to what Tara was saying. So then, somebody has some interest, what do I do next, right? So, hi, how's it going? Hey, JD, I'm interested, or I have a need for salespeople, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, I need to discover some things. I'm not gonna jump right to, oh, it's $10.99, do you wanna buy? I'm not gonna do that. So how do I get from interest all the way to signing a deal, right? And again, we work in the B2B space, not the B2C. So here, I'm not selling you a pen, right, for 99 cents. I'm selling you an entire year-long implementation contract for 600,000 US. It's gonna take more than this conversation to close that deal. So how do I get from interest all the way down? We use BANT. Budget, authority, need, timing. Okay, you said timeline, that's great. I learned it as timing, it's the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna spend 2 minutes talking about these things. Raise your hand if you have some questions. Tonight, it's gonna seem like, it's one of those nights where it seems like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But I'm telling you, there's some details here that are actually really hard to do. Yes, Kara?
I do have a question that says, after they show initial interest.
Yes?
That's making some that they know about you, maybe they don't even know about you.
That's, yes. Yeah, well, great question. So after they show some initial interest, by the way, when you say interest, when I say interest, I'll do it like this. Interest to me is pain. Somebody shows some pain. I start discovering. May not be my product, may not be my service, but if somebody complains, I start, oh, why did, what happened? Why was that bad? Tell me more. I start discovering, okay? So, pain, right? You'll hear a lot of these in sales as well. Great question. Budget, authority, need, timing. These are the things that I need to answer. Great salespeople will get through all of the, I'm talking great, I'm talking like really good discovery call, will get all of these in one, right? But that's like a perfect call, right? You'll get all of them. You should aim to get some of these, okay? And let me go through them. If you have any questions, raise your hand. So budget. A lot of people think budget is like, oh, do I have money for this? Okay, or like, can I afford this? Right, in B2B sales, I'm selling you software, and then I say, oh, do you have a budget? Do you have a budget for this? Yes or no? I'm done. With B, no. It goes way deeper than budget, okay? So, it's not just, do you have budget for this? It's actually, where is your budget for this coming from? That's what you want to know. Is it coming, right? We're in B2B world. So I'm selling you something, you have interest, and then I would ask something like, do you have budget for this, right? And they would say yes or no. And my follow-up questions, or what I want to know is, where's this budget coming from? What department? From marketing, from sales, from R&D, right? Do you typically spend a budget for this? What size of budget do you typically spend, right? How does your budgeting work? Is it on a fiscal year or an annual year? All of these questions, right, are in budget. There's a few more that you can go levels deeper. But my general point in this, when people do, again, discovery, whether they know it or not, budget is not just, do you have money? Budget is, how is that money being planned? Even if you don't have it this year, I want to know about it for next year, okay? Anybody have any questions for budget, on budget? Yes? Hey, we talked like a year ago. You remember me? Ah, okay, cool, thanks. Okay.
What if they're not transparent about this?
well, sometimes they're not transparent, and sometimes they don't know, right? They're not talking to the right person. So again, with all of these, you want to try and figure it out. Let's say somebody doesn't know their budget, or they're not in charge of it. Well, then try and find try and find out who is, and then two, you can probably just move on, right? If they're not even in charge of the budget. But in a B2B sale, and the bigger the sale, the smaller the sale, you probably talk to a decision maker like 1 or 2 calls, right? Or 1 or 2 meetings. But the bigger the sale, I guarantee you will need to know everything about their budget to close the deal. Otherwise, it's just luck, right? So, but to close that deal, you'll need to know everything about the budget. Okay, let's keep going. Authority. So authority seems easy. What is authority? Anybody? Anybody? Who can make the decision? Great. So who's the decision maker? Who's the DM, right? Authority. A lot of people think about this as like, who's the DM, decision maker, right? To go deeper than that, again, it's not just the decision maker, it's the whole org chart.
So
Yeah.
from my personal experience, sometimes the decision maker, there will be 2 or even 3 decision makers for one deal. The user, in our case, which is the equipment engineer.
Yes.
So they will say, oh, I really need this product, I really need this service. And the budget department say, oh, do I have the budget?
Yeah.
And the manager say, oh, what is our KPI of this year? If I purchase this product, can I make this KPI happen or not? So actually, it's very complicated decision cycle. So
Yeah.
not just one person to make decision in our case.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. So Kim, right? Yeah, so Kim makes a really awesome point. So a lot of people think about authority is the decision maker. What Kim is saying is that there are also a lot of other roles. You'll hear some other roles. So I don't have the slide here, but there's advocate, there's a technical user, there's a business user, and there's a decision maker. Those are typically your roles. So when you're trying to sell into something, you want to not only ask, are you the decision maker, but you want to identify, is this the person that's going to use the product, or are they in charge of people who will use the product? Is this the person that's going to advocate for you inside the company, for their product, or do they connect you to the advocate, right? Again, big deals, 6-figure US deals and above, many layers. And the sooner you figure this out, the less time you're gonna waste. Again, BANT is all about timing, saving time. A lot of this is all about saving time and being more efficient. So we talked about budget, and we said how budget is not just, do you have money? Yes or no? That's not all budget is. Budget has a lot more layers. Authority is the same. It's not just, are you a decision maker? Yes or no? Authority has more layers. Tell me your org chart, and then are you an advocate? Are you a technical user? Executive user, okay? All right, need and timing. Budget, authority, those are the easy ones. So N and T, I found in my career to be the harder ones, okay? Because they're actually really fluff. They're kind of like vague, a little bit vague. So need, who can tell me about need? Anybody?
For different roles, they have totally different needs. So for instance, in our case, the equipment engineer, they just want the machine works smoothly. That's all. But for the manager of the working site, okay, they are looking for the higher yield. But the equipment engineer, they don't care about the yield at all. So for different roles, they have totally different need and different KPI. And I totally agree with you, that's a hard part because sometimes they don't even know what's their need. They tell you something, but and if you believe it, actually probably you are wasting your time. So our technique is we don't believe them. we will keep asking different clients or different engineers, do you have the same answer? Okay, if 3 people say yeah the same answer, then we believe in that. Otherwise, okay, just assumption.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I like that. Okay, what he's saying was he probably has multiple salespeople calling into a company, right? And he's probably testing a lot of need or problem solution statements. And he wants to hear the same problem solution statement from 3 different people in the company before you really believe that that is the right need, right? So if you don't match need, you're gonna waste so much time. Okay, this is incredible amount of time waste. Need is all about, the way that I learned, my mentor was a guy in Austin, Texas, 27, and he built a company called, I forgot the name of it now, but he sold it for 1.8 billion to Microsoft in 1987, put Austin on the map for all of this stuff. And he taught me that need is about pain, right? So you gotta go find that pain, and then you've gotta get them to agree with that pain, even if they don't know it, a little bit like what you're saying, even if they don't know it, okay? And you have to ask questions. You have to ask a lot of questions, right, to uncover that pain. When we talk about pain, I like using kind of this analogy. I'll spend a little bit of time on this, because often the amount of pain that they feel is how good you are in positioning their problem, okay? So pain is not static. Budget is kind of static. Like, I have $10,000 this year in a budget to use or lose, okay? That's a number. Authority, I am the decision maker, or not. I am not the decision maker. It's kind of like black and white. Need and pain is a little bit different. You get to play with need and pain as a salesperson. The example that I was taught was this. So Bob taught me, he said, imagine that you have a little, like, imagine me, right? Or you have a little cut on your arm, right here. You have a little cut, okay? And if I said, hey, you have a scratch over there, does it hurt? And you're like, yeah, it kind of hurts. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see it. It's a little bit of a scratch. It's right there, right? I got a Band-Aid. You want that Band-Aid? And then you're like, no, it's just a scratch. You may not want the Band-Aid. But if I say, hey, Kim, look at that, cut on your arm, right? Man, I think it's about to squirt some blood. Like, it's kind of opening up a little bit, right? I see it right there. There's some red coming out. Okay. Now I have a gauze, right? I have a gauze, not just a Band-Aid, right? You don't need a Band-Aid. You need a gauze. You want that gauze, right? Now he starts going, man, there's a little bit more pain, okay? And then the third one, holy cow, you got a scratch right there, I read in the news that the latest mutation of COVID will actually enter you through the scratch. And if you don't close it right now, you may lose your arm. There's a hospital around the corner, and I have a car. I can drive you there right now. Do you want me to drive you? Right? And it's the same kind of thing, but I'm positioning your pain. Now, the best way would be when I tell you, then you're just nodding every time. Yes, yes, right? But I'm positioning your pain. And if I do it well, then it just changed it changed his urgency, and it changed the deal size that I'm able to sell him, from a Band-Aid to a gauze to an entire car ride, okay? So that is how important need is. If you don't do this well, not only will you not close the deal, you probably won't close as much money as you should. Okay, anybody have any feedback or thoughts around need?
So you also positioning the time in this situation, right?
Why don't you keep that and ask the question? Can you just help with the microphone?
So you also positioning the timing in this situation, right?
That's a great question. That's why I say, like, N and T are really kind of linked together, and they're the hardest ones, because a lot of need depends on timing. right? What is one of the easiest ways to close a deal is to insert discounts. Discounts work when there's time. So for example, I want to close you this month. You're like, I'm not sure. And I say, okay, I'll give you a 20% discount. Okay, and you're like, oh, I'm not sure. I say, but it's only available until the end of November. Suddenly you have to make a decision, right? So now you have to do need and timing. So need and timing are those two that you have to ask. A lot of times you have to be kind of creative, right? But a lot of times they do work together. Because timing is also pain, right? Timing is also need. Yeah. What else? Anybody have any thoughts? Who? Yes.
I would like to know more about like sometimes you have a connection with some companies and they will give you some need, but maybe he or she just got a mission and they need to know about to finish that. But after that, maybe the manager or the company's holder, they have more needed is not very clear for you to make a decision. So how did you know about you have to control all the group of that needed, or just focusing on the contender tell you?
Yeah, so I think your question is, let's say I'm talking into a company and I'm talking to this person and they kind of show the need, right? But there are other people that I have to convince or they have to convince, right? And what should I do? Should I wait for their need or should I take charge? Is that what you're saying?
It means like we have to hold all of the potentials needed to land, or just have to more discussion for between of us?
Well, I think, okay, well, one thing I would say is if you're doing a deal in a company, a company has a need and people have needs. Okay, so remember that as well. So for example, if I'm trying to sell into a company and this company needs to use my product or service, okay, let's say there's a real pain there, but the person that I'm talking to is an advocate, not a decision maker, an advocate. So what do? I'm stuck. This person's like, I can't get my boss to take this meeting or something like that, okay? So I need to change that need. Okay, so let's say I'm talking to some manager and they need that this company needs my product, but this manager won't intro the VP into this deal, right? What is one way, anybody, what is one way that I can position that need to the person? Anybody? Yes.
Yeah,
Tony.
maybe he or she could get raised the promotion.
Perfect.
Yeah, we have this skill and this work.
Yeah, so that's great. So remember, that's also one good tactic is you can ask that person, hey, if we solve this problem for you, who gets promoted? I'll straight ask that in a call, okay? If this problem is solved, who benefits at your company? Does the VP? Do they get a bonus? Do they get a promotion? Okay? It works the other way. Hey, if you can't solve this problem by next year, I may not say this unless I know them really well, but I would say, like, if you don't solve this problem by next year, whose fault is that? Or the other way is, who gets fired? So you have to be very personal with them, but it's the same idea. If you can't solve this, then what's the negative? And then once you find that out, then you can start building your case.
Well, actually, until now, when you mentioned about the BAN, I believe in T as well, all this kind of things we want to discover is really personal information. For us, as a Taiwanese, I think we need to smoke several cigarettes or drink some wines with them. Then we can get this personal information. How does it work? By a new code. How can we do that just using one code to get this information?
That's a good question. I mean, different regions, right? Different regions have different ways of doing things. I will say this, Like I've tried to do business in Taiwan for 3-4 years. I've been sometimes successful, sometimes not. In Taiwan, it is a little, I'm sure like Taiwan, India, China, right, Europe, everybody has a little bit of different things. You can still run BANT. We still run BANT. We sell into Taiwan. We still do BANT in Taiwan. You just have to make it your style. You may not ask the things in the exact same way that I'm asking, but you have to get the details. You have to get the answers, or else you're going to be just wasting a lot of time, right? But I will say this, for people that are in sales, okay? If you're in sales in this room, if in any job interview, well, I'll say it this way. In the United States, you go interview for a sales job, a B2B sales job, they ask you about your past, and then they ask you, hey, do you know BANT? And then you say, yes, I know BANT, right? Doesn't move the needle. Everybody knows it. This is like so common. Like everybody teaches, most companies, this is so traditional, everybody knows this, okay? In Taiwan, in my experience, in Taiwan, very few companies do this. Very few Taiwanese companies do this. And if you are in Taiwan and you're a salesperson looking for a sales job or interviewing, if you want to stick out and you know how to do this, I think in Taiwan you will absolutely stick out. It will be an asset to your interview and your future job, if you know these concepts. Now applying it to a market in Taiwan, I think you just have to make it your own style. Oh, somebody asked this earlier. There are many ways to do sales. This is the way that I was taught, and this is what I teach and I use. In this way, I qualify using a process. There's another way to do sales, which I call the buddy-buddy system. I think that's what Kim is saying. You know, hey, how's it going? How are you? Get to know you a lot. What about your family and your friends and your cousins? Let's go out for lunch every month. Let's go out for dinner, or let me buy you a drink. Oh no. Oh, sleep. Okay, sorry. Back. Sorry. So, buddy-buddy system, okay? A lot of people use that system really well in a lot of countries, in Taiwan, right? I know you, you know me, it's the relationship. 关系, it's the relationship that closes the deal. Even if the vendor is not the right vendor, it's the relationship that closes. That's another way to do sales. A lot of people does that really well, that's fine. But they have to go to a lot of lunches and dinners and spend a lot of money and maybe go to like Jogan and all that kind of stuff. Great, they love it, they can go. This is the way that I do it, and I save money on lunches. Okay, cool. So timing, the last one, timing. Timing is, a lot of people think, are you ready to buy, right? Timing, yes or no. And again, just with the other ones, I'm saying that it's not just about are you ready to buy, it's a lot deeper, okay? If we were to work together, what does the time frame look like? What does the timeline look like? Do we have a pilot for two weeks? Do we push this to Q1 of next year, right? Who works on this deal? Sorry, I forgot your name.
Jay?
Okay, Jay, you asked a question a little while ago. What if somebody doesn't tell you the budget, right?
Just in general, they're not transparent.
Yeah, they're not transparent and they don't know. What if somebody's like, I don't know the budget, blah, 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 okay? I found one really good trick, by the way. If somebody's like, I don't know the budget, then I'm like, okay, and then I ask them some other questions, maybe find some need. And then here's my other question, and then my trick is, okay, so if we were gonna work together, how do we work together? What does that time look like? What does that timeline look like? And typically, if they haven't gotten off the phone or canceled the meeting, if they're somewhat interested, they'll tell you their timeline. And when they tell you the timeline, they'll start giving you some information. And in that information, a lot of times, they'll tell you some pieces of who makes decisions, how the budget is put together, etc. It's a much easier and softer way to ask for information. If you say, hey, if we were to work together, how does that work, right? What does the timeline look like? A lot of people will answer that question openly, okay? So, budget, authority, need, timing. This is BANT. We're gonna probably move on, but does anybody have any questions or any other thoughts around this? Yes.
You have shown us about the BANT and the 4 of the list. So, in your opinion, which one is the most important, and which one is the first we have to face of the corporation or something else?
Which one's the most important? It's a good question. I would say they're all really important. I'll answer your question in a different way. Well, to close a deal, you need all 4. Okay, like unless you're just luck into it. But to close a deal, you need a budget. You need somebody to sign a contract. They need to have a need, and then you have to implement. So you do need all 4. Now, I think maybe a better question for you, not a better question, another way to ask that question is in a first call when you're doing discovery, which one is most important to get, right? Which one is most important to get? And if you were on my sales team and you did a discovery call and you came back and you're like, yeah, I got a lead, I got a prospect, I'm so excited. You know, I'm like, oh, cool, is it gonna close? And you're like, no, I'm just discovering. And I'm like, okay, well, what about the budget? And you didn't know that, you're done. Did you talk to the decision maker? Oh, I don't know, I didn't ask. You're done, right? Like these are like basic stuff, okay? So maybe to answer your question, if you're in sales, you gotta at least try. If you don't try, then I don't know what you're doing. If you can come back, and maybe you didn't get the budget because you talked to a lower person, right? Maybe you got a little bit of the org chart. You came back and told me a lot of pain and real pain. Like you knew how it worked. Then I'd probably be very impressed, right? Like if you were able to match pain to product, I'd be very impressed. And then if you came back and you knew the implementation and the timing, then I'm like, oh, that's great. There's something to work on. So that's the best way that I can answer your question. Okay, but you will need all of these. Yes, Jay.
Is pain the same as it costing the organization a lot of money?
It could be, yeah, cost. So pain could be like, I spend a lot of money right now, I don't want to spend that much money. That's a pain, right? So that's a negative pain. Pain could be lost. Anyways, the answer, yes. Yeah, to answer your question, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes?
So like you mentioned, you can frame the needs of
Yes.
specific organization. So do you prioritize finding the organization with the needs to, the hospital, right? Or do you prioritize convincing who needs the bandage that they need in the hospital? I think these are two different.
Wait, say the 2 variations again. So what is A and what is B?
So I think one of them is that you prioritize finding out those organizations that really need the right organization. Second one would be have a client in front of you, convince them that do need that, like even though you don't think so, you still do that. I'm just curious about your strategy.
Yeah. So the question is, positioning that need, right? Do you go find people who already have this pain and they know the pain? Or then do you go find people that may not know the pain and you have to convince them and position that pain, right? Wow, that's a whole nother evening, and maybe we can do it. To me, it's called commodity versus value selling. That's what that is, okay? So what I mean by that is, if you can go find people that already know the pain, and you could just sell them the pain, probably what that is already a commoditized market, right? So like they already have this need, and there are people that are trying to sell them. And it's very clear what the need is. I'm hungry, there's a McDonald's, right? But there's also a Burger King and a Subway and all that kind of stuff. So if you are at a company in sales and you want to make money, yeah, you can go and close those deals. Go find them. The other way is you have to convince them of that pain. And in that sense, a lot of times they may not know it, which means that you're essentially selling not commodity. I have a hamburger, you have a cheeseburger, right? But in essence, you're selling value now. Because now you're trying to reposition pain into some upside, some benefit. And a lot of that is value selling. Your question of which one would you want over the other? I think both are valid. It just depends on what business you're in, right? If you do commodity selling, you're as a company, your margins are lower. Your commissions are lower. If you do value selling, you're gonna make more profit, more margin, more everything. Startups, by the way, like if you're in a startup, you probably should be value selling. If you're doing probably. If you're a startup, early stage startup doing commodity, I don't know, your path. So that's a good question. Yeah.
So JD, could you elaborate why it's mattered for knowing that where is the budget come from? Can you hear me?
Say your question again.
So could you elaborate more about why it's essential to ask where is the budget come from? Because, for instance, we ask for the in my case, I asked for the CISO if they have the budget. So if he say yes, we have budget this year for their department, why I need to know about where it's come from?
You just answered the question. The budget is out of CISO's budget for that year.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But wait, so what was your? Well, in that case, you wouldn't answer that question because he or she answered it. But then, what if they said, "I don't know," or what if they said, "Yeah, I'm not sure"? Then, do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so maybe I misunderstand that. Maybe sometimes he will say the budget coming from other department like purchasing or other department.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Trying to find the decision maker, I think. So
Okay.
if you don't know where the money comes from, you can't know who decides.
That's part of it.
Yeah. If you asked the CISO and he said or she said, let's say she said, the budget is out of my office this year and I have some room in my budget. Which one are you missing? BANT.
Timeline?
Yeah. You got budget. Well, we're assuming that that's the authority. But you got authority, right?
Okay.
In that sentence, I didn't talk about need. But there's a assumption that they have a budget they're ready to spend, need. But what you're missing now is timeline, right?
And how did you dig out what's their capability of spending? Because if you don't disclose how much is your price, maybe they will also have more budget than you know, right?
That's great. Yeah. So that's great. So knowing that budget, well, then I guess we haven't talked about negotiation, but knowing that they have a budget is a good step. And then the next step is getting the maximum amount of that budget, right? And that's on need and negotiation. Yes.
So when you talk about value selling.
Yeah, value selling.
Yeah, in terms of uncovering need, a lot of the time the value selling, the pain isn't always that obvious. Especially, for example, so what I'm doing is a lot of B2B ESG selling.
Oh, okay.
And ESG isn't that obvious.
No.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, when it comes to, it sometimes linked with other departments. For example, marketing. Sometimes it links with marketing. Sometimes it links with HR. And then, how do you actually to uncover that need? And then, how do you handle all that kind of thing?
Well, can you give me a scenario? Well, actually, wait. Hold your scenario because we're gonna do audience mock pitches. But that's great. Okay, so you're gonna be the first volunteer. So, all right, so B2B ESG, all right. Oh, that's gonna be a fun one. So hold that, okay, cool. We're gonna do a couple mock pitches tonight. So we're gonna move on, but BANT, right? So that's a good overview, hopefully, of what budget authority need timing is. And again, it's a way of qualifying and saving time. So the next thing in our agenda that we're gonna do is we're gonna show you 2 discovery calls. One bad, which we're about to do, and then one good, which we'll do after that, okay? So give me 1 second. Mariel from our team, PMF team, is gonna help, and we're gonna show you a bad discovery call, okay? Ready for this?
I guess.
Okay, so Mariel's part of PMF strategy, so she's been through a lot of this. We do training and we do stand-ups and we talk about this quite a bit. I'm going to show you a bad discovery call, and I want you to kind of think. Again, this is just my point of view. Everybody has their point of views and experience, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well. This is going to be a phone call. It's not going to last for very long, but it's going to be a phone call, and here we go. Ring.
Hello.
Hi, is Mariel there?
Yeah, this is me speaking.
Oh, time out. Sorry. I'm going to try and sell Mariel Salesforce. Okay, we're all salespeople. So I had to pick something that I think everybody would know in the B2B space. So I'm going to try and sell her Salesforce. Okay, the CRM. All right, here we go. Sorry. Ring.
Hello.
Hi, is Mariel there?
Yeah, that's me.
Mariel, hi, this is JD from Salesforce. How are you?
Oh, I'm good, and you?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks for taking the time on the call. How's your day?
It's going well. How about yours?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's sunny over here.
Oh yeah, same here.
Really? Okay. Where are you now?
I am in California. How about you?
California. Yeah, I love California. Yeah, I'm in New York, but I grew up in California.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, what part of California?
Well.
Are you originally from California?
No, actually, I just moved here about a few months ago, 3 months ago, for this job.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know California much. Sorry.
I see. Where did you move from?
Well, I just came here from Honduras.
Oh.
That's where I'm originally from.
Got it. Honduras. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So it's sunny over there, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. When was the last time you visited?
California?
Yeah.
Oh, last year. Yeah, like Christmas time. My cousins are there. My family went. It was great. Like we went to Santa Monica. Have you been to Santa Monica?
I was there once, but I would love to go back.
Oh yeah. You got to go to the beach. There's a really good hot dog stand.
Oh really? Do you remember what's it called?
No.
Too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Hey, I sent you an email. I sent you an email. Thanks for emailing us. And I sent you some information. Did you get a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I did, but I would love to see a demo. Is that fine with you?
Yeah. Yes, I have it ready.
Okay.
Okay, so let me start my Zoom.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Salesforce is page, blah blah blah. Okay, and then at this point, I spend the next 20 minutes going to do my demo. Mariel just sits there and listens for 20 minutes. Sometimes she asks questions, but in this case, she doesn't ask any question. And I don't stop. I just keep going for 20 minutes. I'm not even sure she's listening, but it's okay, right? I'm just doing my demo. So Salesforce allows you to use an integrated API solution on top of our Einstein capabilities, which we invented in 2018, and we have a patent on it. And Einstein is all around machine learning and neuro analysis, right? And it helps helps a lot of big corporations, including Intel and Cisco and Microsoft and Facebook and Apple and yeah, Walmart and all of these. Okay, so anyway, so that's the demo. Mariel, what do you think?
Well, yeah, it sounds interesting.
Yeah, okay. Can you see this? Can you see your company using this?
Yeah, I mean, I can talk to my boss and see what he thinks.
Okay, yeah. So, your boss is he makes the decisions on this?
Yeah, he would be the decision maker for a purchase like this.
I see, okay, cool. Well, yeah, maybe you can talk to him, maybe ask him. Is there anything that I can send you, when you talk to him?
Yeah, I guess you can send some marketing material for me to share with him.
Okay, yeah, let me send that marketing material to you. Okay, cool, and I'll check in with you next week then.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, JD.
All right, thanks, Mariel, bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we hung up. Who thinks that was a good call? Okay. Who thinks that was a bad call? Okay. Okay. Who has done a call like that before? I have. A lot. I've done a lot of those calls. What information did I get out of that call?
She's from Honduras.
She's not the decision maker, but more importantly, she's from Honduras. She just moved to California 3 months ago, and it's sunny. I made a friend. I'm buddy. I have nothing useful to try and close this deal. I spent 5 minutes, right? You'll see this in like sales playbooks, like training. I spent 5 minutes getting to know you, right? Then I spent 20 minutes on a product demo. And then I spent 5 minutes of a 30-minute phone call trying to figure out the next steps. I'm clueless. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I get off the phone. This is wasting time. It's not, by the way, it's also wasting her time. And that's just as valuable. It's not just wasting my time, it's also wasting her time. She booked 30 minutes on her calendar. I guess she got a product demo out of it. But did I really solve her problem? I'm not sure. Okay. Does anybody have any feedback on that call? Any personal experience? We're about to do the good one, but I would love to hear some stories of bad discovery calls. Any? Yes.
Use this one.
When I graduated from college and the first time I make a startup with my friends, so we only have 2 members in our group, and my coworker is Lardy and I'm in the business development. So I figured out that the first time we're meeting with the potential customer, we cannot promote too much information about, oh, can you give me the money, or do you like my program, something blah blah. So we will take some time to make our conversation more coolly and it's like more comfortable. So when we first time we get in touch, and we will talk something like you did it before. So when the next time or the next email or the next phone call, we will more gather into the important information we want to know. So I think that we all have the same experience. It's like the first email, the first phone call, or the first meeting, we will talk too much details about what we want to do. So I think this is a very cool demos about your
discovery. Yeah, thanks. I mean, by the way, everybody does this. Like everybody that starts out in sales does this. Why? Because you're not used to it yet, right? You want to be nice. Most people do this. You want to be nice. You don't know what to say, okay? But if you run BANT and if you run the way that I do it, right? I teach that the salesperson is always in control, meaning you're not like controlling, but you're always striving. And so what the salesperson should be doing is making the most valuable use of everybody's time, okay? The other way, by the way, is going back. It's like the other way is the buddy way. That again, that can still work, but you just have to be that person, right? Like, I can get to know Mariel, we can be friends, I can call her 5 times, 6 times, go out for lunch, happy hour, blah, 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 and maybe close that deal, okay? But it'll take me all that time, right? Okay, you wanna do a good one?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we're gonna try it. Here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is Mariel there?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey Mariel, this is JD. I'm calling from Salesforce.com, and we have a 30-minute call scheduled. Is this still a good time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great, awesome. So, yeah, how are you? How are you today?
Pretty good, staying busy here. How about you?
Good, yeah. Nice weather over here in New York. You're in
Honduras right now.
You're in Honduras. Wow, cool. Never been to Honduras.
Oh, you should come.
I want to, never been. Okay, awesome. Well, I don't want to waste too much of your time, but I know that you emailed us for some information about Salesforce.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a couple questions? Are you a member of the sales team at your company?
Well, yeah, I'm a regional sales manager here in this company, and as I told you via email, we sell blow molding machines, those machines that make plastic containers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have like a pretty big market right now. We reach out to people all around the world. We have a pretty big, a growing sales team.
Sales team?
So yeah.
So you do global sales.
Yeah.
And you said you're the regional manager, right? So then how many people are on your team?
Well, I manage 10 people.
Wow, 10 people.
Yeah.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so and you're based out of Honduras?
Yeah.
Your company? Okay. Mariel, real quick question. So you're 10 people. How many deals do you close in a month or in a quarter?
Well, I would say we close around 20 deals per quarter.
20?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Can I ask like average deal size?
4 or 5 figures, I would say.
For US, right?
Yeah.
That's a good, that's a good output for a team. So if you're closing 20 deals in a quarter, you said, then maybe you have like 100 deals in your pipeline, maybe?
Yeah.
Do you use a CRM today?
No, actually, well, I'm only using Excel right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I've used Excel as well in the past. Nobody at your company uses a CRM?
No, we don't. We're still pretty traditional here. So, and Excel is free. I've been using it for, 10 years, and I was in high school, I guess. So yeah, this is just what I'm used to do.
And your whole team uses Excel?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So, I'll definitely tell you about Salesforce, but I'm kind of curious. Are you happy with Excel, or do you have any struggles with Excel?
Well, I would say one of the problems that I do have is that how you have to enter information manually, so there might be a chance of making a slight mistake here and there,
Yes.
and also pretty time consuming because we do have a long lead list that we have to go through. So yeah, it takes time to enter all that information.
How long have you been at the company?
Around 4 years.
Well, so you may have a lot of leads from like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, so there's a lot of information.
Yeah, you may be missing some follow-ups, right, with some of those leads from 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to, keep up with all that's going on and with the sales process.
With the sales process.
Mm-hmm.
People have told us that using a CRM like Salesforce or really any CRM, right? People have told us that they save time, right? So you mentioned saving. So how many hours or how much time do you spend on Excel every day?
I would say around, more than 6 hours.
Jeez, okay.
Yeah.
It's like half your day.
Yeah, I have
And
to
you have
make
a
sure
team.
that all the information is right.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you have a big team, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so people have told us that time saving is, is a value that they get.
Mm-hmm.
also told us that, entering things correctly, right? A lot of times they do that wrong, and so, that's tough. Also, using a CRM can help you close more deals, right?
Well, yeah, I don't see how it can help me, drive more sales, but I do see the value in saving time.
Okay. So out of these three, if it was like saving time, entering things right, closing more sales, which one of these three are most valuable to you?
Well, closing sales is important to me, but personally, I do spend a lot of time, entering this information, so yeah, time savings.
Time saving?
Yeah.
Got it. And Mariel, I'm curious, are you the decision maker on purchases?
No, actually, you would have to talk to our VP of sales. I would be more of an advocate if you want me to, pass some information on.
Okay, so you're not the DM. You're not the decision maker.
No, that's not me.
Do you know if your company has a budget for these type of software platforms?
Oh, I don't know. You would have to talk to the VP of sales.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Do you use any other like marketing platforms or anything that you know? Do you have any like software services?
I don't know if I can disclose this information.
Okay, no worries. Sounds good. And then, if we were to kind of help you, if you use Salesforce, right, and you save some time, do you think you would want your sales team to start using it like this quarter or maybe next quarter? What would be most beneficial?
This quarter.
This quarter?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that?
I mean, I would like to start saving time as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I can talk to the VP of sales if you want me to, but I would like to, kind of have more information because we have never used a CRM before. Maybe you have a demo or something so that I can, discuss with the VP later today.
Yep. Yeah, definitely today with our time, I'm going to show you a demo, right? So before I show you the demo, one last question. So one last thing. I'm going to show you some ways today in our demo that I think can really help save you time, right? Because it sounds like that's one thing that's really important to you.
Yes.
Will you do me one favor? If I show you these things and at the end of the demo, you see that it can save you some time, will you help me schedule a meeting with your VP next week?
Yeah, sure, I can help with that.
Okay. Well, let me fire up Zoom. And Mariel, can you see Salesforce on your computer screen?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Mariel, let me show you how you can save time. Okay, and I do that demo. Okay, it's not over yet. So now, after I do that demo, then we're done, right? Mariel, so that's Salesforce. So do you think that's helpful?
Yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure in that tab over there with the AI genie that comes in and just does everything for you. You don't even need to leave your bed, right? Like you can really like just sleep in, and then somebody does everything for you. You see how that can solve the problem that we were talking about, right?
Yes, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So are you available next Thursday for a quick call with you and your VP?
Let me check my calendar. Yeah, next week, this same time works for me.
Same time? Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to send you this email I'm going to send you the calendar right now. Okay. I will follow up real quick with some other information in case your VP needs to see it. But I will talk to you next Thursday, and we're going to talk about time saving so that your team can start on Salesforce this month.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks, Mariel.
Thank you, JD. Bye.
Bye. Okay, thanks, Mariel. Everybody, let's give it up for Mariel. Okay, so give me some feedback. What was the difference? Or was that a good discovery call? What does everybody think? Yes, people are saying. Why was it a good call? Anybody?
I've already calculated the 10 important different tips in your conversation. So the first, you have the phone call, you will ask and tell you will tell them how long our meeting is.
Yep.
So the second one is you will ask about the last we connected, maybe like the email or the call, or you will ask them about the resources after you send them. And the third one is you will ask them about their position or their duties. And the next is how many missions or how many duties they have to finish, maybe per the week or per the month. And the fifth one is how long is like your products you want to sell them, and it will be very often to use them or just not too much. So the sixth one is there anything you can help with your competitors? Maybe they have something difficult they have to do by themselves, but you will ask him or her about, can I help you for the first time? Because you have to make the connection with them. And the seventh one is, before you sell your programs or products, and how long did he or she have to solve this problem by yourself? Right. And the eighth one is, who is the key man and baggage? The ninth one is like, when do we have to promote this product to you? Yeah. And the last one is the next meeting.
Yeah, the follow-up. Yeah. Right, the follow-up. Good, thank you. Who else? Yes, Gene, right?
Yeah. I really love this talk, and I listened to that you request some resource and metrics like how many deals per month or like which quarter and what's KPI, and yeah, so you can like figure out what's the budget. I think the budget is the most important in sales circles, right? So you can like figure out what range and to like sell the different service of the different budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. One thing that I'm always doing in this, so you can see the difference between the first call and the second call. The first call, I got no information, or very little. California, Honduras, 3 months. The second call, I got a lot of buying information. I got a lot of stuff, okay? So you guys can definitely see the difference, right? I'm using BANT, but I'm not budget, authority, need, timing. I'm weaving everything in. There's also one thing that I do, that I'm doing, that's a technique that I often do when I do discovery like this. I'm always thinking, okay? I'm always thinking about the give for the get. What I mean by that is, we're here for 30 minutes, okay? I'm going to teach you something today. I'm going to teach you something about my company, my product. You are taking this for a reason. You want to know something, right? If I just give you a demo for 20 minutes, I'm kind of wasting your time unless I just get really lucky, okay? But if I lead this call really well, I'm going to give you value for free. You're going to walk away knowing more stuff. Now, I shouldn't have said for free, because in my way, I don't want this to be for free. I want something out of this meeting as well. If I'm going to spend this time, I want something out of it. The best case scenario in sales is I get a closed deal, right? Like maybe everything aligns. She literally is the decision maker, has the need, wants to do it today. Team is aiming for it. She's already done her research and she's ready to sign with a credit card or a check in hand, okay? I have, in my past companies, I fundraised. My biggest deal, I met an angel for lunch, first time, okay? 1 hour lunch. At the end of the lunch, I walked away. He called in 10 minutes, said, I'll wire you $100,000. I said, okay, that's a closed deal. Rarely happens, but if you have the opportunity, go for the close. But as you do discovery, and you start thinking, no, not the DM. not the need, not the whatever, then you start paring it down, you still want something. You still want something out of it. For her, in that scenario, I quickly figured out I gotta get to the DM. And then my approach to the call was, okay, what am I gonna do to get your decision maker in the call with me next Friday? That is now my agreement. I'm going to find something, right, in which you will agree if I do it, that you will bring your decision maker onto the call next Friday. And that happened to be, I'm gonna show you saving time, right? It could have been other things. It could have been make more money, it could have been blah, 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 right? But I'm looking for something. Usually it's need. And then I target on that, and then I'm like, if I do this today, will you then promise to bring your decision maker in for next week? Okay? I kind of explained that in a very long-winded way, but it basically means we're still here, 30 minutes, 5 minutes of getting to know you. And at the end of it, I still want you, and I still want a deal out of this. And my deal has become, if I show you this, a way to save time, what will you do for me? Okay? Will you bring your decision maker next week? Yes. Great. All right. Now we have the framework for the deal. Then all I have to do is I just have to show you my product. And by the way, I just show you that one slice of my product that I said I was going to do. Yes.
So in this scenario, you're Salesforce.
Yes.
But a lot of us are startups, and our products maybe aren't as mature as Salesforce.
Sure.
So you're pitching something where the relationship between like value to their company and their pain may or may not be a good fit. How do you sort of resolve or sort of do discovery? You sort of
Yeah, how do you find pain, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm Salesforce, I've been around for a long time, I know my market, I'm the commodity, right? Like I'm going to a place where a lot of people need this stuff, so I know it.
What if we're pitching like a pilot or something that's more speculative? Like
Yeah.
we're trying to say, hey, we think that there's value here for you. You can use this as an opportunity to understand. We can try this small thing. We think it fits in what you're doing.
Okay, wait, so your first sentence is where you went wrong, by the way. I don't want to cut you off,
Sure.
so I'll answer your question. We think we can show you value. Wrong. You're a startup, you don't know. I've pitched my startup many, many times. In my discovery call, in my startups, right, when I do discovery call, all of it is about trying to find pain. Like, there's so, like, if you're a startup, and you do good discovery, there probably will be times in which you could probably just walk away from the call. And not walk away, but you can be like, hey, thank you for the time today. It was really valuable for this, 20, 30 minutes you shared with me. I gotta say, we don't fit you. Like, we don't fit, we don't fit the problem. So I'm not sure there's a good match. But I do want to thank you for your time. If I can send you some information, I will, blah, blah, blah. And then you just walk away, okay? If you're a startup, well, if you're anything in B2B, it's not what you are doing, right? That's the key. Let me try and explain it in a better way. If it's about what I am doing, then I will show you a 20-minute product demo. It's all about me. I got a product, and I'm gonna show you a demo for 20 minutes. That's what I'm doing. But that's not how BANT and discovery works. BANT and discovery is about your problem and your pain.
So I was too self-centered.
Yeah. It's not about, you're a startup. I don't know, if I'm the customer, right, I may care that you're a startup and like, you're trying to build something new, but at the end of the day, I have pain, solve my pain. It's much faster to try and figure out my pain and put your product to my pain than it is to try and say you have an awesome product. Sure. Oh man, we are way over time, huh? What time is it? Sorry, we have a fantastic fireside chat tonight. I realize that I've been rambling for a long time. Can somebody give me a quick time check?
46.
8:15? 8:50?
Yeah, 50.
Okay. We're gonna keep going. We'll wrap up this. We'll do a couple of mock pitches for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna bring up the fireside, and then we have the rest of the time for some networking. Okay. So we'll distribute the slides. A lot of these are great questions that you should ask. We went over a lot of these. Who owns? What would be valuable? Who owns the budget? Okay, so you can kind of think about a lot of these things. Again, we'll distribute the slides. Next, I want to show you what a team looks like and what a report looks like. So BANT actually is not just a way of doing discovery, but it's actually, in our team, it's actually a way of writing reports. So for all of our sales development reps, when they do a discovery call, when they finish a call, they have to write out a write-up like this, okay? And they have to write who attended, and then I want the LinkedIn profile. I don't want manager. I want the LinkedIn, because I want to see what they're saying that their role is. And then any relevant company info discussion, then budget authority, need timing, other notes, next steps, okay? This is kind of the format. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you what it looks like in a real note, but I'm not gonna put it in the slides because it's kind of confidential. I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. Hold on. So in our Salesforce, let me show you, this is a good one. So this is one of our clients, and you can see BANT report. This one Daniela wrote. So Daniela's over there. Good job, Daniela. Attendees, company, region, background, budget, authority, need, timing. She goes into all of these different things. She goes into other notes. And then next steps. Okay? Again, I can't put this into the slides, but I wanted to show you because Daniela wrote all of those notes off of the first phone call, right? And that phone call, what, lasted an hour, maybe 45 minutes? Yeah. She asked the right questions, and then she wrote all that. I wasn't even on the call. The next day I read it, and I knew everything about where the deal was. That's how efficient you can get with a sales team. Okay. Audience, you try. Okay, so let's do this for like 10 minutes, and again, we have a great fireside today. Yina.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you come on up? All right. Everybody, let's give Yina a round of applause. Have a seat. So, you're in sales for your company?
Yes, but yeah, I'm also the founder.
And you're a founder?
Yeah.
Okay. So I could try doing some discovery, or you could try doing some discovery, and I'll play your typical client. Which one do you prefer?
Can I try to do the
Discovery?
client?
You want to do the client?
Yes.
What's more valuable?
I
think you should do the discovery.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Okay. And
I'll
then
try.
tell me, I'll just ask you a few quick questions,
Okay.
and then learn about your client, and then I'll be your client as much as I can.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So you said B2B ESG.
Yes.
So your typical client, what side, like tell me the
Listed
typical
company.
client. A what?
Listed companies.
Listed companies?
Yeah, my company is in Hong Kong, so listed companies in Hong Kong.
What's their problem?
What's their problem? Usually they have several problems. So at the end of the day, what their need ultimately is usually corporate brand image.
Yes, for ESG. Does everybody know what ESG is? Okay, all right.
Yeah, usually corporate brand image and sometimes recruitment.
Yes?
Which
recruitment.
links to corporate brand image as well. Because they want a better corporate brand image so that it could improve recruitment. And then thirdly is retention.
Is there a sector?
So we do, my company is called Women in Work. So it's very, very clear. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yep.
gender equality.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Part of ESG.
yes, part of the ESG.
And who's the buyer typically?
Sometimes ESG department, sometimes HR department, sometimes marketing.
Wow. So like, okay, head of HR would be a buyer?
Yeah, sometimes.
And you are selling consulting? Or what do you sell, platform?
Events, usually event sponsorship platform we do have as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're still in a very early stage, so that's why we want to learn about like how the discovery can be done.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that I could figure out their pain, and we could also let them know like we have a lot of things that we can customize, but we have not standardized it yet or packaged it up yet.
How do you normally do a pitch? Do you have a sales deck?
We do.
Okay. Okay, let's try.
Okay.
So I'm going to be somebody in HR.
Okay.
My name is JD.
Yeah.
We're on a phone call.
Okay.
You say ring ring.
Okay, ring ring.
Hello.
Hi JD, this is Yina from Women in Work.
Hi Yina, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good here. How are you?
Great.
Great. So let's not waste more of your time. So thank you for your interest in terms of wanting to improve part of the wanting to improve your company and interest in Women in Work. So before we start, I would like to learn a little bit more about your company. Say your department, or is there any KPI or plan of your company this year on gender equality stuff?
Yeah, sure. So I'm in HR. I'm one of the managing directors. And my company, Lululemon, right? My company, Lululemon, we're all about fitness and fitness as a brand. You may have heard of us. We do apparel. We do fashion, right? Fashion apparel. And then we're looking into this thing, ESG. So I think we got connected through Bill.
Yeah. No, so I'm not sure have Bill talked about our company to you. So may I know, say, in terms of the HR, do you guys have any, action plan or year plan for the upcoming year in terms of, where does your money want to spend in, or what kind of things that you guys are looking at to initiate, or to maybe say increase retention, for example, like this, or do you have any targets?
We're just figuring that out right now. So I'm going into some meetings about some targets. I gotta say, we don't have a solid plan for 2023, but I know the CEO and the C-suite keep asking about this.
Okay, nice. So maybe I will. So do you want me to do like the normal way that I would do?
Sure.
Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Like normal way that I would do, I would basically ask like, okay, so maybe I will also go through a sales session, my deck with you to introduce what Women in Work is about, and then also our services.
When would you do the sales deck? Like right now in this call?
Yes, but after going to your workshop, maybe I will do that.
Yeah, it's sunny here in Honduras.
Yeah, so I'm basically
If you open that deck right now, I'm telling you, I'm on my phone answering emails. Right? But
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so maybe
But as
now
an
I
example.
would probably ask like, okay, so what's the gender ratio of your management, and then also
Yes.
say your your company staff?
We're 75% male and 25% female.
Okay, so yeah, that's very common in a lot of the companies, especially in the management level. And do you basically have like regional offices, or like all of the HR stuff are handled in headquarters?
We have regional offices that report to headquarters.
Okay, got it. So maybe so would this is one of the concern of your company, say in terms of having too many male in the decision making, while didn't give enough care to the female staff?
Yeah, it is. This type of diversity is something that we talk about.
Okay, nice. Yeah, if that's the case, like, may I also understand like the overall population, the gender split between the overall population of your company?
It's 90% female, 10% male at Lululemon.
Okay, yeah, that actually shows a big problem. Like you have a lot of female staff, and then they have a lot of they actually have a lot of needs in terms of specific, say family planning, parental planning, stuff like that. But actually, while your management board is vice versa, having 75% male, that means like a lot of the companies, like it means actually that they couldn't include the female angle or like gender equality angle into their decision making, no matter on the financial budgets, no matter on the policies, or no matter in terms of the marketing message to your customers.
Right.
Yeah. So would you be interested into proposing to your management in your meeting that maybe working with us in terms of improving your female staff caring plan, or like in terms of we can explore what we can do together to basically improve that?
Yeah, maybe. Wait, I'm gonna time out. So great. Okay. I want to get like one or two other people as well, but we're at a great point in this. Okay. So anybody have any feedback so far? You're so close, I feel like. Okay. But does anybody have any feedback so far?
I won't do the closing. I will check the metrics, like if you are interested, and do you know my company and my success cases, and do you trust me? Yeah, that's a direct sales for Jordan Belfort I learning for. So I will check 3 points and I will close it. If not, I will like send you a deck and we can contact in the future.
So you would check 3 points.
Yeah.
And then maybe a case study or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What else? Anybody?
Just
Yes.
a question. So for instance, your business is for me it's a brand new business.
Yes. Okay.
Style, so I don't understand. And sometimes my product, my service is a brand new service for my client as well.
Yes.
So in my case, most of the business conversation, they have first question: how much is your price? How much is the cost? So sometimes I will not play like a client like you. I will when she asking me questions during the interview, maybe the client will just say, hey, stop. That's
how much is the price?
Can you tell me what kind of service you offer? And how's the price? And how's the benefit I can get? I will maybe my client, most of my client will go so directly. Sometimes
almost all. Yeah, almost all. So usually when that happens, we didn't mock it up. We could do it as well. So typically my style, you just say how much is it?
Yeah, how much is it?
I'm definitely going to tell you the price today, right? And so I have that ready here to show you in a little bit. But before I show you, let me ask you one last question. Blah blah blah. I just keep deflecting. Yeah. But I will tell you the price. I will tell you the price later. But I don't have, right? I don't want to tell it to you right now. Okay? So there are ways you can keep deflecting. And then just tell me the price. Okay. I can tell you the price right now. I don't have all the information that I need, and I'm afraid that I'm going to tell you the wrong price. Right? So you can keep deflecting. You can't do it forever. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Let me get back to this real quick. So you uncovered our management is 75% male, 25% female. Our staff is 90% female, 10% male, right? And then from there, you told me about how that's bad and how things could be better. And then you asked me if we would consider working with you, okay? So my feedback for you there is that you didn't discover enough pain. Sorry, you didn't tell me that I'm gushing blood yet. You just told me I had a scratch. You have now information, 75, 25, 10, 90. The missing question that I would have asked is, how do you feel about that? How does the company, you kind of you started down that route, and I said, yeah, we talk about it. What do you talk about? You can't, right? You got to get me to agree that, man, holy cow, 75, 20, wait, yeah, that makes no sense. Oh, this is what you do. Oh, I can see it now, right? You got to dive in deep, okay? And then when you dive in deep, and then you realize that I had the yes, okay? Then you go for a give and get. Oh, okay, I'm gonna show you how marketing events allow companies to increase their diversity. And maybe to what Gene is saying, use some statistics, right? We have 3 companies in which before they do the marketing event, they had 25, 75. And then after the marketing event, 6 months later, they were at 60-40, right? If I show you that today, would you be interested in talking about a partnership with me, right? Yeah. So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You played a good client. But that's usually like really how it goes in usual way. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah. So dig deeper,
Okay.
right? And by the way, like that's a really good example, right? If salespeople, if you don't dig deep enough, and then maybe you come out of that. If you just went right into your demo, your pitch deck, I'm not all the way there yet. I'm kind of like, I didn't feel it. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta answer this email, right? You didn't get me all the way to gushing blood, I need to get in the car yet. But you could have, right? You could have. And that's the difference between, honestly, a really good lead and prospect, and then now a waste of time. Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody, please do a team round of applause. Okay, we're going to do one last one, and then we'll do a fireside chat. Anybody want to do a real quick one? Let's try it, Jay. Let's try it. Okay, we're going to keep it to 5 minutes, okay?
Sure. I don't really have a process and I don't know what I'm doing, so it'll be easy.
What's your startup? Tell me about your startup.
We make connected fitness equipment.
That's right. Okay. I remember this. Let me summarize if I can.
Sure.
Okay, so you were going to be Peloton, a little bit like Peloton, right? Connected social network of fitness equipment. You have fitness equipment.
Yeah, but we changed the buyer, so we're trying to sell B2B to corporations and insurers to help them understand, retain, and hopefully manage their costs, kind of around employees and health.
So you would sell to a corporation so that they can manage their employees in the gym, like in their gyms?
Just understand employee fitness behavior and try to shift it in a more positive direction because it generates a lot of cost in terms of health insurance.
So do the employees buy your equipment to take home? Or
No,
the
corporations facilitate through HR as a benefit.
So they would have the equipment in their home, in their office gym.
So today HR pays for things like gym memberships and Fitbits. Tomorrow they pay for Stride.
Your company's called Stride.
Yes.
I'm going to be the head of HR. You're going to do a discovery call on me. Okay?
Sure.
Let's try it.
Okay.
It starts when I say ring ring. It starts when you say ring ring.
Ring ring.
Hey, hello.
Hey JD, it's Jay from Stride. Thank you so much. Is now still a good time?
Yeah. I have this 30 minutes booked.
Yeah, I wanted to learn more about your company and understand kind of what you guys are doing and kind of what your experience is. What's your role at the company, JD?
I'm the VP of HR, and yeah, I know we got connected through Jane, and you have a startup, right?
Yeah, we're trying to find companies that are excited about improving retention and understanding kind of employee health behaviors. Could you maybe tell me kind of about your company, how many employees you're kind of managing, and what your problems are?
Yeah, we have 500 employees, all in Taiwan, and we are all based here. One thing is we want to get people back into the office, so people don't want to come back.
And why is that like important to you guys?
You know, from the CEO, like very kind of traditional, wants people in the office, wants butts and seats, and just feel better that way.
So, like, what are your priorities kind of for this quarter other than getting people in the office?
Well, I mean, I have a lot of priorities. I have to reduce headcount and I have to sell more stuff.
Oh man, that sounds tough.
It is.
Do you spend any budget on like retention or health of your employees?
We do. Yeah, we have an annual budget to spend on that. Yeah.
How much are you guys spending per head?
About $1,000 a head.
And how are you deciding to allocate that money? Are you like the decision makers or internal team?
I do it with a committee. Like I'm on a committee of C-suite people.
And how often does that meet?
Once a quarter.
Once a quarter. And when is that usually?
Well, at the end of the quarter. So at the end of December.
So you're allocating this money. How does the decision process kind of happen?
We vote.
And just get a list of things, or companies come in and pitch?
Oh yeah, companies coming and pitch. Yeah, they pitch.
And how do you shortlist those companies? Like, do you have like a list of priorities for that meeting, like this next quarter?
Well, mostly to, you know, we want to reuse our office space in a good way. Again, like people are working remotely, and we want to bring them in to the office.
So you want to try to provide benefits in the office that'll really get them excited about coming in.
Yes, yeah, that's important.
And I guess, like, so hypothetically, you're on this committee. You go in at the beginning of next quarter or at the end of December. What would it take for Stride to kind of present you this information? What can I give you today that would get you excited about offering fitness equipment for your office?
I don't know. What does Stride do?
Well, that's a great question. I'm so sorry. I got excited because I think there's an opportunity for us to work together.
Okay. You did good.
I don't know. I think Stride offers a complete gym for the home or office, where we offer a piece of multi-use equipment. It allows you to have in the space of one machine a variety of machines, and then you can collect data and understand what the fitness behavior of your employees is. And this has helped a lot of companies retain employees where they like to have this, to feel taken care of and to have a health benefit. And it allows you to understand if you are incurring insurance costs from the lifestyle decisions of your employees.
Okay.
So I guess, have you guys ever offered like any fitness benefits? Like what fitness benefits do you offer today?
Gym membership, blah, blah, blah.
Has that been good for you? Like, what has that been like?
It's been okay. Yeah, about 60% of our employees use it.
60%? Well,
yeah.
Why do you think that it's 60%? Like, why not 100% or 40%?
I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Are they excited about the benefit? Like, is that something they really like?
Yeah, in our surveys, that they do. They like it.
So if they're excited about it, has it helped you? Has it changed your retention? Has it helped you, convince employees to come work for your company? Like, when did you implement that, and have you seen changes since you implemented that benefit?
Jay, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to get back to you on a lot of this. This bunch of. Okay, we're gonna take a pause.
Yeah, I'm really struggling.
No, you're doing good. Everybody, let's give Jay one round of applause. So I'm going to give you a couple of remarks, right? Maybe get some feedback from everybody, and then we're going to end the segment here. But you did a great job, right? You did a great job of getting me to talk and getting me to answer some questions. Where you're struggling a little bit is you don't know how to connect your product to pain, right? And so even your Stride, your 3-4 sentence, what you do, it had like 5 things in it, right? And none of those things I talked about. So you got to connect your product to pain. And this is very typical of startups, right? Like you think you're doing something, but you got to uncover some of my pain. Anybody have feedback for Jay? Who's working in a startup right now? Okay. So one thing one thing I will say with Jay, critique, okay? So one thing is, you did ask like, how can Stride help you? And then I said, I don't know, I've never heard about you. So how can you help me? And then the next thing that you said was your company pitch, okay? If your pitch is like that, I wouldn't have said your company pitch. I would have tried to ask for more pain, find something, and then just mentally map one of your features to the pitch. Right? I guess that's a little bit deeper than the end of this that I want to get to. But what I'm saying is, at that point in time, it doesn't matter what your company does. Like, it doesn't matter what you say. What matters is my pain. And then find some technology in your company for my pain. One thing that I said there was, you were like, why is it 60%, right? And I'm like, I don't know, that's a good question. Immediately, if you do anything in data analysis, I would run with that. I would have run with like, we monitor data, we blah, 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 blah. You got some pain, ask me more questions and see if you can match it.
It's just hard to do that extemporaneously. I guess I'm not empathic enough. It's a struggle.
It's practice. Everybody, let's give it up for Jay. Okay. Thank you for doing that mock, Yina and Jay. Okay, we're about to jump right into the fireside session. Oh man. Give me 1 second. Let's set up the chairs. Can you put those 2 stools up? Steam towel. Everyone. Okay, and then Sam. Everybody, let's give it up for Sam Cheng. Okay, and then of course Edgar from SparkLabs. Mike. Okay. I'm gonna hand the mic to Edgar. Edgar, we'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, no problem. So good night, everyone. I'm the moderator of today. So I work in big companies and startups before, and right now I'm running a SparkLabs Taiwan accelerator, and had got a lot of experiences helping startups to connect with like big companies and also discover like what are the pain points from the big companies, from those executives. So starting from like tonight's fireside chat, I want these 2 gentlemen to share about a little bit about yourself, and also like maybe new projects or the company you are right now working for, or the new projects you are right now working on, and also what parts of your work that's related to business development.
Hi everyone, I'm Sting Tao. I had started the company for more than 3 times, and once sold to, in Taiwan I founded TechCrunch like tech media, it's called Inside, sold to Tian. The new lens. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it anyway, but anyway. I was also the first general manager of Line Taiwan and Line Pay. Actually, I founded Taiwan office from 2 people to several hundred, from 0 revenue to IPO in New York, part of it. So that was one of my experience. And now I'm in 4 board of board of directors in 4 companies, 2 listed and 2 not listed. But well, they are all going to get listed. So well, introduce too much. My recent project is I am now the chairman of a new securities company. securities where you can buy stock. I mean, the licensed securities company, not just fintech, very traditional securities company. This security company is the smallest in Taiwan for now, and I'm trying to make it the biggest in Taiwan in a few months. Okay, that's me. And the role, I think I'm good at BD and sales, I think.
We'll try to get the best part of like stints like tonight, since your time is also very valuable as well. Yeah.
Okay, hi. My name is Sam Cheng. First of all, thanks JD and Edgar and Shane for allowing me being here. I definitely learned a lot of great stuff just now. Feel like hopefully after tonight I can be a little better BD person. I currently work at the basketball team here in Taiwan, a professional basketball team called the New Taipei Kings. So we are currently in season. We're playing. We are currently 5-1. So what I do for the team is I am the sales/BD person for the team. So what I do is I have to go sell sponsorship. I have to find companies that believes in the team, willing to partner with the team to do various projects, whether it's for brand exposure or collaborations, or maybe a direct our audience of traffic to their brand and stores and whatnot. So that's currently what I'm doing, and I'm glad to be here tonight.
Yeah, thanks. So we just heard from like JD to share about how do we use BANT to discover like potential needs and also discover the pain points from the clients before you are trying to sell something. So I just wonder, like in your previous working experiences, what methods or what techniques that you use to find out if there's a prospect that is ready to buy or ready to sponsor?
I'll listen to you first.
The reason why I said to sponsor is because I sense that work might not to get the part from the monetary things. It might also be the sponsorship from like maybe good stuff or some of the services or something.
Sure.
Yeah. So you also be covered tonight.
Well, I have many different experiences, maybe have failure experiences and have very successful selling experiences. But so if you work in line in a very early time, actually line product is so powerful that our customer queue to buy. So it's not fair, right? You have a great product that you can sell. But he asked us to share the technique. I want to share the experience that I didn't know my product was so great before I sold the first one. I tried to use very traditional method to talk to people to explore their needs, but actually at the end, my 4 first clients taught me how great my product is solving their pains. I couldn't explore them at all, even using my techniques. I rejected 10 of my first clients. They asked me questions like, what can you solve? I say, I don't know. And then I left. And sometimes they ask me, the first several clients, they ask me, can you provide this report that I want to get a budget to buy your product? I say, okay, my product doesn't have this function to give you any reports. Then they left. After 10 cases, I was not frustrated at all actually. But the 11th clients asked me all the same question. Isn't it too expensive? I say, yeah, I think so. Does it solve my problem? I say, I don't know. I sold to no clients yet. Can you do the report? Can you reduce price? No, I don't think so. This is, other people's company. And then I say, goodbye. I want to leave now. And then my first client asked me to stay. I say, why? He taught me how valuable I am. I tried to say, if even I did have, I sold $1 billion Taiwan dollars a year. I can sell them by myself. Not because I'm good at sales, but because the first several clients, they all taught me how good my product was. So try to share the experience that more cause you will learn, more BANT than you learn. So and now I'm good at exploring, by the way.
So we can conclude that you are the pain points of your target audience, right?
But yeah.
But I mean, so you just also share some of the startups that you've been started or right now starting. So I want to talk about like the insight when you just started. When you weren't like using so powerful product that Brown and Coney was like backed. So did you get a chance to promote or to partner up with others? Did you have that kind of experience?
You mean a small startup?
Yeah, small startup.
Okay, yeah, I do. I don't know. I was thinking hard which experience to share. Because, okay, anyway, I figured out one experience that I'm doing now. I'm the smallest securities company in Taiwan. There are 60 institutions where you can buy and sell stocks. I'm the 60th position, the smallest. And I went to Line Bank, talked to their VP, say, I think you should integrate my product with Line Bank. And so I'm very small, right? And Line Bank is also small, but much bigger than me, 2 million users. And I say, you should. And the VP asked me, why should I? Whoa, that's a good question. If I were you, I will integrate with all the securities companies to let users use the most convenient way to manage their wealth. It doesn't have to be me, but if I were you, if you don't want to get fired, you should take this strategy. That's how I say it. Then it leads to the budget side. Then he will ask me, so what's the benefit for me? Me means he. I say, yeah, good question. When you buy stock, we have some commission fee that I can share with you. And that way, you should integrate with all the securities company and my company, since it's the smallest, I will support you to solve all the challenges along the way you want to integrate a security company with a bank. There must be some regulations issue or some process issue. I wasted my time for you to grow that business for your users. So that's what I try to convince them, but not yet successful. And I will follow up until they regretted they didn't integrate with me. So anyway, that's the way I try to think from their side. If I met their chairman, I would tell them the same thing. If you want to keep your job secure, you better follow my suggestion. But anyway, the suggestion, I think from their perspective. That's my method.
So two key takeaways. First one is that you need to have a very strong product. Once you get there, that you are the pinpoints of your target audience, right? And the second part is that you need to also have your product statement or value statement that very clearly. And using fear approach, that might be one of the ways that you can try, but not as everyone is like Sting, that powerful as well. Sting is a powerful product himself as well, but you can give it a try if you have like successful experiences before. How about Sam?
Right. If I recall, the question is, when do I know the customer is ready to buy or to sponsor? To us, sponsorship comes in two forms, right? One is monetary, like actual sponsor fee. The other one will be goods that the team needs. So how do I know when they are willing to give? This is definitely new to me, and the basketball business itself is also new to a lot of people. A lot of customers are right now, right? So it's definitely a new experience for me, and a lot of times for my customers when I'm trying to pitch, maybe like the ESG business as well, right? So first, what I would try is to try to present a kick-ass presentation, right? This is the team, you got all these players, the stat is good. We are promising to win the championship this year, and just selling promises, selling dreams, and then which may come true. I'm positive, I'm confident in, right? And then I will try to tell them some stats. A lot of people are watching. I'm telling the TA, our TA is 20 years old to 40 years old, more males than females, and what does that mean for your company, for your brand? If I have 4,000 people attending the game, if I have 50,000 people watching at home every game, and they are this age group, and what does that mean anything to your business for them to see your brand, for them to interact with your brand, right? And at the end of the day, how do I know if they are willing to participate? You just got to ask a tough question. You gotta present them with the price. If I have all these different options, right, and then this is the fee, this is how much it may cost. And sometimes it's a very hard question to ask, and 台湾人都不好意思，最后你要跟他讲那个价钱的时候 ，but then you gotta ask the question, you can instantly see the reactions or the feedback from it. And
So
then
do you propose like the price list by yourself, or you only present with the ask? You wait for the queue. So what's the situation?
Sometimes, just like what JD said, I mean, we don't. After all the presentation, all the all the presentation, all the information, we gotta cut to the chase sometime. Otherwise, this might go on, right? So when I felt like when I felt like I present what I need to present it, and I've heard the need of the company, that how we can work together, and I present the strategies and options, and it's just time to tell them this is the price, this is your terms. What do you feel about it? Can we go forward? Is this something in your price range? And I get different answers for it. Some might say, oh yeah, I think this is something that we can work with. This we can talk about. And some might just say, hey, this is way too much, or some might just get shocked that they didn't imagine this would be at this price. So get all kind of answers. Nowadays, sometimes I learned, just like what JD has said, the BANT. Before, sometimes it's even a good idea to get into before we get into the conversation too deep, to kind of get a sense of their budgeting field first. I've talked with customers sometimes where they just flat out tell me that they don't have any budget for this kind of interactions. They just want to partnership some other ways. If that's the answer, sometimes we just may have to move on or move forward, because team has team's objective, and I have mine. What's best for team. So just to recap to answer your question, when do I know they show interest? And sometimes just when it's time, just gotta ask a tough question. This is the price. Is it something that you feel comfortable with?
One methodology I will use is that, why are you willing to spend time meeting us or meeting me? Is that interpreted into that you are interested in working with us? Have you got an experience of working with others? How much you spent, and is there any budget involved, or what's the equivalent, like goods that you involve into other games, or maybe different type of sports? So we can get the hits, and once when the client says like they don't have budget, I always change to business development mode. I will change to, okay, is there any clients that you think of that might be interested in working with us? So there's always be like exploring mode to getting either your money, either your connection, or just yes, to see like more leads like out from the conversation. So we are a little bit like running out of time tonight, but I want to get also like there's a lot of like whether it's BD person or BD people or sales people right now in the house. I want to share some of your experiences, how some of your experiences can help those BD or sales to make a better job. Is there any experience that you can share? Maybe especially like from Steve.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any experience that you can share for BD or sales people to do their jobs better?
Okay. I guess we are all smart, but smart cannot make the business. We should learn from talking to people more often and listen more. I don't think there is trick that can shorten or shortcuts for that. Let me share one more. So actually my recommendation is very simple, just do more. And there's no easy way for success. Let me share one more strange case. One time I received a call. A woman said she wants to purchase our line stickers. And I say, who are you? This is not for users. She said she's from Taiwan Bank. And I say, oh, the marketing department? She said, no, I am how to say, counter? Clerk? I said, oh yeah, okay. Do you know that our sticker costs $1 million Taiwan dollars? And she said, I don't know. Then I say, yeah, 1 million. And she said she would fix the budget. And I say, really? Okay. Do you know what the purpose is? She said because our Taiwan Bank is going to celebrate 60-year birthday very soon. I said, how soon? Oh, in 6 months. Okay, you still have time? Because we just need to book 2 months before. Can you do that? She said, of course you can. And then I say, one more thing. You need to design stickers, not me. She said, really? I said, yes. Then she asked, how should I design the stickers? I say, oh my God, it's a good question. You need to find a designer, and you better design you better design several options because I will reject your stickers if it's badly drawn. And then I hung up. She said, okay, got it. A clerk, 1 million? Can you design? BANT, right? And after 1 month, she called back. Now I have 12 stickers. Can you help me to design? I said, oh my God, too many. Okay, try to vote for to let all your colleagues to decide. Just vote. And then, oh, good idea. Then she again a clerk. Actually, I was astonished along the way. And finally, Taiwan Bank, they need to open a bid. I say, I don't participate in a bid. She said, it's okay. I can handle all the process. You just need to come to Taiwan pretending you are joining a bid. And we ask you to reduce the price, you just say, for example, what's the price? 1 million. Okay, do you reduce the price? Yes, 1 million. You just announce it 3 times and I will make it a deal. I said, really? You must promise me, otherwise I don't get there. She said, I'm okay. And that day, yeah. It happened just as she described. Then I asked her, "Who are you? Are you some mistress of the chairman?" But she didn't answer me. It's still a mystery. So I do use BANT, right? I did use BANT. I tried to tell her what to do.
Tell her you're bent.
So try to learn more by exercising more.
This is also very good. I mean, like to let the conversation be more effective, you can also lay out your events to your target purchaser or target customers. So she don't really need to like guess what do they need and also the timeline. So I mean, like either side that you are also doing bench for each other. So that make the conversation quite efficient.
Okay. Well, by no means I'm a great BD person. I'm still learning. I'm on the way, and I feel like maybe a few of you in the audience have more experience than I do. But what I have discovered, or my own personal tech, I guess, when I do BD for the team this year, what I found very important for me is empathy. It's being empathetic to me and to my clients. Maybe we have previously discovered, we try to stand in the other person's shoes and then looking inside and see what this is all about. When I'm trying to pitch them something or sell them something, it has to be good enough that if I was on the other side, I would buy it too, okay, at a reasonable price. And I have to be confident of what I'm selling will deliver what I'm promising them to. And being a startup team, being a second year team, I kind of know what kind of results will yield. So I had to be honest about it. I often tell myself, 如果这个东西我也不想买，那别人更不会想要买。那所以这一定要是很公平的嘛。那我觉得有的时候你站在对方的角度，你诚实的告诉他，我觉得这个东西大概就是会有这样子的成就跟这样的价值。Then some of your clients felt that you are being honest with them, then they start building the trust. So and once the trust is built, it makes the rest of the way a little bit more smooth. But building trust is definitely something that I guess I'm still working on, so still learning. So just to answer back your question, what value do I hold to help me in this journey? I think I try to be as empathetic as possible.
So just want to open the floor to some of the questions if you have maybe one or two. Any questions to the speakers? Sting and Sam.
Just want to know, I want to ask, thanks. I want to know if clients want to compare with like P-League and like Howard, why do I just sponsor Howard? Why do I need to sponsor your team? How do you like answer the clients or sponsor that questions?
Now that's a tough question because Dwight Howard just arrived Taiwan, right? Has been a sensation, and the T1 is doing definitely so well because Dwight Howard. And that's a tough question. If a customer asks me why should he sponsor me instead of Dwight Howard, I guess I would say that our team has a foundation. Our players are well-known players, playing for a long time. They were here before Dwight Howard gets here, and they were good, and they will still be here next year and the year after. I don't know what the other team will do, but the players that we have are the foundation of Taiwanese basketball, and they will be here for a long time. And we are a team focused on the city, so we have a great connection with the new Taipei city, and the city will stay, the people will stay. I don't know about the NBA star that comes and go, basketball is a long, basketball career or education is a long process, and it's not just for a year or 2 years and then done. P League or the new Tiger team is committed to stay and to build our players and to give back to the city. So that's why we tell the client that we will be here. We are doing well this year, and we'll be here next year and the year after. So please consider sponsoring us instead.
And I want to know, second question is how you guys to hacking the stakeholder. If you just can connect to like senior or manager, how do you hack? Is there any tips for this?
You mean like how do we hack?
Yeah.
Let's hack the seniors. Let the senior answer this question.
Tell me who you want to reach.
like a VP or like
No, like chairman.
Yeah, chairman.
I mean, there are many people who can help you. You just need to ask. If they say no, then, well, 6 degrees apart, right? So anyway, if you try hard, you can always reach the right person. But what you need to do is, for example, I say, who do you want to reach? Then you say Taiwan, right? And I say, okay. Okay doesn't mean I can talk to her, right? But I say, okay, what do you want to tell her? Then you need to tell me. If your statement is terrific, I will find people to find her. And because helping you, helping me, right? A good product, that's what she wants. And I help you, then I'm more the middleman guy. This for me is I'm a middleman. I would get my reward too. So actually, it's very easy for me. I mean, to get to whoever in Taiwan, maybe not in the world, but in Taiwan is easy. As long as you can answer, why should he spend time with you? To me, well. So that's it. That's my hack. That's my hack.
So the hack is like Sting, right?
Sting is hacker.
Yeah, but for people who don't have like solo like me, I was using cold calls. So cold calls is that you're just using like LinkedIn or other social media, or there's a lot of forums. Those executives will be there and speak. I'll just sit there, wait there after they come down from the stairs, and just using maybe 10 seconds or 30 seconds to briefing, talking about why do you want to connect them, and also get their contact. So this is another way that you can approach, or using fear approach. You can try. If you don't contact me, your job will be unsecured. I want to take one more question before we end this session.
I have no question, but I just want to say Sting's personal experience is too personal.
BD is always personal.
By the way, it sounds like very personal, right? But I do think that, do you know how many customers I visited during my line career? Can I count? Maybe 2,000? Have you done so many calls? I mean, definitely not. I call so many people, even a clerk, right? And all those accumulated, basically today I learned a lot from the BANT thing, the framework. I learned it through 2,000 calls. I found out that if I don't ask this, then I will waste my time. Next time to need to clarify that. So, well, my personal journey is through hard working, but with BANT framework, maybe you can save more time. But still, for me, I think exercising more times is important. Yeah, so.
So the best way to get what your user wants or need is to accept. If you think that the answer that they shared is not true, then you will figure the way out, or otherwise they just don't want to share with you. So the best way is to talk to them more often and try to get the key man who is a key decision maker. And I think the most important thing you will learn along the way, but don't imagine your customer needs. Just talk to them. Yeah. Thanks again for the two speakers today.
All right, okay. Thank you, everybody. Let's give it up for all of the Fireside speakers. Hey, Sam, can you go to the next screen? Yeah. Okay, so this was +1 business dinner, the 9th one. It was all about BANT. Next screen. Next screen. Oh man, can you go back? Back. This one. Okay, so if you enjoyed the topic tonight, please vote for the next one. We probably will have the next +1 in January. It's already coming to the end of the year. We'll probably have the next one in January. I hope you got some value out of it. I hope it was useful tonight. And we will see you at the next +1 business dinner. Thank you. All right, and then we have a little bit of time to network. I think there's still some to-go's if you want to grab something.